That I want food hungrier, like an erotic hunger. Like I'm ridden with energy and I can control you with one lustful look better. Look, these kids are young after Diddy. Katt Williams is finally revealing how Ellen sold her soul for Hollywood success and how she is being controlled. Hollywood is an industry built on lies, and if you want to succeed, you have to give up your integrity. Allegedly, Ellen was using her connections and fame to lure young stars and hand them over to the elites at the top. That the Epstein files reveal Ellen DeGeneres as, and I'm quoting this directly from the posts, Hollywood's most prolific, that she consumed flesh. Ellen DeGeneres is named in the Epstein documents, and that part is real. Her name appears in the broader index of over 300 high-profile individuals that show up across the investigative materials. You know, flight logs, communications, third-party interviews, peripheral records. Who will eat pizza if I, Jennifer? Yes. Harrison. Yes. Yes. Smart. All right. Too large. What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do. Ellen first started The Ellen Show in 2003, and by the mid-2000s, it was one of the biggest daytime talk shows in Hollywood. Some of the biggest names in Hollywood sat with her. At one point, every major child actor was trying to meet Ellen. It was believed that if Ellen liked you, you would make it big in Hollywood. Why was this happening? How did Ellen control who would have a successful career in Hollywood? Well, according to reports online, Ellen was working as a scout for people like Harvey Weinstein, Sean Diddy Combs, and other Hollywood elites. I start looking at about age 6, sometimes earlier. Because of my trained eye, I can see potential. Take that girl, for instance. You may think not a chance. I see her differently. Loner type. Others hate her. Weird eating habits. Looks extremely moody. Basically all the outer signs of a future supermodel. Now, it's my job to nurture those qualities. And maybe we have a winner on our hands. How are you doing in school? You liking it? I hate it. Good. How about grades? Who cares? Exactly. Nobody. What about the other kids? Do they think you're weird? Yeah, they think you're a witch with evil powers. Good. That's real good. Keep something in mind. Being different doesn't mean you're a witch. It only means you may become one of the highest paid models in the world. Okay. Yeah, whatever. I don't care about anything. Katt Williams talked about this too. There are celebrities in Hollywood who work as scouts for the rich and perverted. These celebrities source young talent to directors, producers, and music executives who control who gets cast and who doesn't. Couch casting in Hollywood never ended. Allegedly, Ellen was one of the celebrities involved in scouting new talent. This is now being proven by investigators who claimed that Ellen was named in the Epstein files hundreds of times. Everybody is a supplier. Epstein, Weinstein, like these guys, knew what these extremists liked and provided it, and provided the way for you to to have $1 billion and not create a fantasy island type environment has not existed throughout history. Right? I was going to run some global power organization. I would try to co-opt every single leader, try to suck them in, offer support, bring them out to wherever I have my big-ass meetings, fly everybody in private jets, talk about the climate crisis. All organizations have to follow the same rules. Yeah, that's wild. Recruitment is an important facet of all, like we have to get some young global leaders. Well, understand this is the only reason that we can talk about these big Illuminati-like entities at this period of time. It's just because of time. Like they aged out, like you can't get in new. So everybody got decrepit over there and they can't exchange, really. There is actual proof in the Epstein files that celebrities were part of Epstein's crimes. One email released by the Department of Justice mentioned how 25 major celebrities across Hollywood and the music industry cut secret deals with Epstein. The names of these celebrities had been redacted by the DOJ, but the details of the deals showed that these celebrities were working to cover up all the crimes that were happening behind the scenes. Victims were labeled as crazy and blackballed from the industry. Filed court document Ghislaine Maxwell, the former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. She was convicted of trafficking by sentenced to 20 years in prison. She claims that 25 men, maybe friends, associates of the deceased financier, have been protected under secret settlements, secret deals, and that this information was not revealed to her during her trial. This is on top of what she claims are 4 other individuals, alleged co-conspirators who were never charged. Obviously, I have thoughts. Is she telling the truth? Particularly given her past, in light of what she's trying to do now. If this is true, number 1, wow. And who are these people? What is a secret settlement? Can we ever find out? Can the public ever find out? You can also see how Ellen's behavior completely changed after her show started hitting the charts. The Ellen Show started as a simple comedy talk show, but by the 2000s, there were rumors of abuse, and the kind of things Ellen was promoting were shocking. Back in 2015, paparazzi managed to sneak non-consensual, intimate pictures of Justin Bieber as he was going to his hotel room naked. At the time, Justin was 21 and Ellen was 58. You might think that this was just a disgusting joke, but keep in mind that children are being every day in Hollywood. These children are expected to listen to their managers, and apparently the managers are using them to please the elites. Hollywood managers who manage kids. It's a racket, man. They're just kidding. These kids, dude, these kids, strange things. Stranger things. Stranger things. He just left his manager, and they're alleging sexual abuse. They just left their agent. See if you can find that. Owen Benjamin, the curly-haired kid. Oh, yeah. Owen Benjamin just put it on his Instagram today because Owen has been taking a lot of heat online because he said that a 3-year-old kid shouldn't be transgender and people giving him a hard time saying he's a bigot. Like, are you out of your mind? When you're what's up with this transgender? Stranger Things actor dropped agent because of sex, accused of sexual Disney star follows suit. Jesus Christ. This is nuts, man. Watch an Open Secret and they tell they go through, dude. They pick their accusing people. It's for free, I think, on Vimeo. You can watch it for free on Open Secret on YouTube or something. You know what Sturgill Simpson told me? He said the same thing exists in music. You said in music. There's a bunch of pedos and PD music as well, and the entertainment business all the way through music it's about music and movies and TV. It's about the whole entertainment business, women and kids, mostly kids and sometimes dudes. You know, Terry Crews said that he was attacked. Well, not attacked. Some famous dude grabbed his. Some critics have pointed out Ellen's suspicious behavior over the years, including her support for the use of human stem cells that are taken from babies. Like, what does advanced stem cell research have to do with a daytime comedy talk show? In an episode of her show, Ellen, she revealed that all celebrities use stem cells taken from young people to stay youthful. Reports online have also linked Ellen's changed appearance to her not receiving these treatments anymore after Diddy was arrested. In an episode with Sandra Bullock, Ellen and Sandra Bullock openly discussed her use of adrenochromes, extracted from children, and laughed about how it kept them young. Okay, let's talk about this facial that you're obsessed with. How many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's A to do this? Not everybody. Okay, good, smart. Just those that I thought would appreciate it. Okay. Explain what it is. Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think, many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes the skin. What are you pushing into the skin? Sandra. Sarah Sand Carey. What are you pushing into the skin? Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores. But what is it? It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far away, and they somehow figured out how to extract its for skin from a Korean baby. The rabbit hole doesn't end here either. Who can forget Ellen's alleged connection to Epstein? Some fans believe that the set of Ellen's show was modeled after a temple on Epstein's island. While we're on the topic of weird things Ellen was caught doing, some sources online have even pointed to strange symbolism hidden in some of Ellen's videos. March 2020, right when CO lockdowns began, Ellen DeGeneres made a bizarre video wearing a hoodie with a red bloody face. The same face that Jay-Z was later spotted wearing. Symbolism will be their downfall. Or is it just art? And let me be the first to tell you, it's all connected. I mean, if you know, you know. But first, let's go back to that video of Ellen DeGeneres. When the camera turns, you can see the inside of her house. Now, see that picture right there? Well, if you pause it and look it up, it says evil thoughts with revenge right next to it. Here's another picture of Ellen in her house, and this is the picture behind it. Now, the thing I'm curious about is the letters on top of the picture. These look oddly similar to the letters Marina Abramovich writes out when she does spirit cooking. Remember the beginning of the video? It's all connected. And that person that was in all red is Lady Gaga. And she went to Marina Abramovich many times for teachings. But let's continue. This is another picture of Ellen in her home. She's cutting her mother's hair. But what is that picture above her head? Look at it. Oh well, you know where that is too, right? It's similar image to that, right? No, I know Jamie does. What is it? It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore. Oh, Ellen. Was that Ellen? Yeah. Really? Just look at the temple and then look at the... Let me see Ellen's background. What? Now, Ellen also pushed away all her friends right around the time that she started getting famous. Rosie O'Donnell and Ellen were best friends for years, with Ellen even coming out on her show, back in 1996, but now they barely talk. Rosie O'Donnell talked about how Ellen used to be her best friend, but she pushed her away as soon as her show took off. Story takes an incredibly dark turn. Ellen's career is littered with dead bodies and allegations of ritual consumption of flesh. In May of 2022, Ellen's 20-year run came crashing down after Ellen got exposed for creating a toxic work environment and her employees. Ellen ended her show, and 2 months later, her ex-girlfriend Anne Hesse ended up dying in a car crash. In December of that same year, Twitch also committed suicide. Early on the morning of Tuesday, December 12th, Twitch packed a small bag with only a change of clothes and his handgun, slipped out of his house without telling Allison, turned his phone to airplane mode so he couldn't be tracked, and took an Uber to the Oak Tree Inn, a dreary 2-story motel in a hacienda-style building on heavily trafficked Ventura Boulevard, just a mile from his house, and paid $17 to reserve a room for a single night. Twitch made his way down to room 249 and let himself in. Allison reported to police that Twitch was missing shortly after he had left the house, noting with particular worry that she couldn't reach him by phone and he had not taken his car with him when he left. 2 things that she said were very much out of character for him. Because there were no details about Twitch's death, people just rushed to fill that void. This was at the time when Ellen had built this edifice as the nicest person on television. She would have YouTube stars, and all of a sudden that edifice was crumbling. What makes Anne's death even more suspicious is that at the time of her death, Anne Heche was allegedly working on a documentary called The Silent Children that was going to expose a global child ring. In May 2002, the Ellen DeGeneres show was canceled. And then 2 months later, Anne Heche, Ellen's ex-girlfriend, was in a really bad car accident where she flew her Mini Cooper into someone's house and it caught fire. And what has never sat right with me is the cross-comparison between the coroner's report and the actual aerial footage. The coroner's report says that she was unconscious until her death, after just from smoke inhalation, and from being brain dead, from the fumes in her brain. But if you look at the footage, she sits straight up, and that takes a conscious effort, I feel. But I'm not a scientist. I mean, I'm not a doctor. But, the other thing is her other host, her co-host Twitch, died 4 months after that. And I just think that that's a suspicious amount of, close people around you dying in weird ways. But I don't know. Anyways, this is my driver. And, I went to the Ellen show once, and she gave me Magic Mike live tickets. Anyways, if you dig a little deeper, the story gets even wilder. Shan Tabatabai, from The People's View, one of the biggest investigative journalists on Twitter, said that his investigation revealed that Ellen was involved in Anne Heche's death and disappearance. As for what exactly Ellen is accused of doing, here's what Sean's investigation revealed. There are rumors that Ellen's behavior changed because she actually sold her soul to the same Hollywood elites that Katt was warning us about. Around the same time that Ellen's show started becoming famous, Ellen actually signed a $49 million deal. Soon after this deal, Sean Diddy Combs started showing up more and more on The Ellen Show. In total, Diddy showed up over 17 times and was almost always trying to promote his illegal parties. Then, when Diddy got arrested in 2024, Ellen announced that she was leaving the US forever. To some people, this announcement looked more like Ellen getting ready to run. Simply moving to the UK isn't that suspicious, but the timing, the way Ellen completely changed her appearance, and how she stepped away from the public spotlight do make you think. To make matters even worse, Ellen recently announced that she's planning to come back. And believe it or not, this announcement came after Diddy filed for early release. Ellen DeGeneres and her wife Portia D. Rossi have reportedly fled the US bound for the UK after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication. The Wrap has the exclusive story and said Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia D. Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most. You're really bad. If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive? They're losing their mind. She sounded so sincere, didn't she? Very sincere. Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen DeGeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she? Well, this is why I say, release the Diddy files. Diddy files. Come on, Donald Trump, we want to know whose name. So, maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites. The $49 million deal Ellen made right before all of the suspicious guests and show segments started is much more significant than you realize. Money is used to control by the same Hollywood elites who used promises of fame, money, and at times threats of to force child actors and young performers to do what they wanted. The one person who understood this better than anyone is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was offered $100 million, but he said no. Oprah even asked him if he was crazy for not taking the money, but Dave told her that he knew that money would then be used to control him. After Dave said no, Oprah made fun of him. At the time, no one but Katt Williams realized why Dave was doing this, but now everything is becoming clear. It was completely outside of my frame of reference. I've been in show business since I was 14, and I've heard the stories, of what happens, and I've seen these kinds of things play out in front of me. Okay? When you say you heard the stories, what do you mean? What stories? I mean, you see before. Look, Mariah Carey made a $100 million deal, and 3 months later, she's all of a sudden mysteriously crazy. Omar Lawrence punches through, and he's waving a gun on the street screaming, "They're trying to kill me." Yeah. We hear those stories, and it always happens around a time in their career where it seems as though they're crossing over the next plateau. Yeah. Would you say you lost your mind, sort of? No, not exactly. Okay. I wasn't crazy, but it's incredibly stressful. Yeah. And I felt like in a lot of instances, I was deliberately being put through stress. Comedian Dave Chappelle left tens of millions of dollars on the table when he walked away from his popular Comedy Central show. A lot of people wondered what the hell was he thinking. And that's a quote. Chappelle says he was thinking or whether he was thinking. A lot of people ask that question. And Chappelle says he had a crisis of conscience and stood up for his integrity as an artist. He explained to us how stepping out of the spotlight helped him avoid getting caught in a trap. It's so much bigger than money though, Dave. It's so much bigger than money. Oh no. It was bigger than money. But, you know what? I watched one of these nature shows one time, and they were talking about how a bushman finds water when it's scarce. And they do what's called a salt trap. I didn't know this. Apparently baboons love salt. okay? So they put a lump of salt in a hole and they wait for the baboon. The baboon comes, sticks his hand in the hole, grabs the salt, salt makes his hand bigger, and he's trapped. He can't get his hand out. Now, if he's smart, all he does is let go with the salt. Baboon doesn't want to let go of the salt. Then the bushman just comes, takes the baboon, throws him in the cage, and gives him all the salt he wants. And then the baboon gets thirsty. The bushman lets him out the cage. The first place the baboon runs to is water. Bushman follows him and they both drink to their fill. And in that analogy, I felt like the baboon, but I was smart enough to let go of the soul. Money and fame corrupt the soul. On the surface, most celebrities will act like they're the nicest person in the world, but in reality, they don't respect you or think you're worthy of their attention. Joe Rogan said that Hollywood elites treat you like you're beneath them. There is an arrogance that some stars had, like particularly in the 90s when I first came to Hollywood. And this is like really evident for me because I was not a star, but I was on a television show, so I got to be around a lot of stars. And there was a way that some of them would treat you. They would let you know that you are subhuman. You are below them. They would communicate with you in the most disrespectful and dismissive ways, like weird, like mousy guys that I could kill like instantly. And they would just be rude to you in a really weird way because they had power. They had power. And then when an executive would come over, they would turn on the charm. They'd be smiling and laughing, and then you would talk to them at the craft service and they wouldn't dismiss you in theist ways. I encountered a bunch of that. Yeah, it was commonplace and it was, I think, a thing that they aspired to. Katt Williams warned that the industry protects itself at all costs, and now fans believe Ellen DeGeneres may have been far more involved in Hollywood's dark side than anyone realized. Whether these allegations are true or not, one thing is undeniable. More and more people are starting to question what really happens behind closed doors in Hollywood. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below with your thoughts. Do you think Katt Williams was trying to warn people all along, or is this internet speculation being taken too far? Also, check out the next video on screen right now because the rabbit hole only gets deeper from here.